events, truly heartbreaking. Let's talk about something else here. As the government and non-governmental organizations step up measures to help millions of Kenyans affected by drought in 23 counties, forecast models predict a likelihood of yet another below-average rain season for October to December. This will see an outpacing of assistance from state and non-state actors in rolling out humanitarian aid, and it is anticipated that there will be more livestock deaths, high levels of acute malnutrition among children, and food needs as well. Citizen TV's Ayub Abdikadir explains how this will put an already vulnerable people at even greater risk in the far-flung Mandera County.
Animal carcasses litter the rocky expanses of Mandera County, an indication of how the drought has severely impacted local communities here and others in the neighboring counties. It is the starkest image of how the drought is taking a toll on thousands of residents in this county, which is among the counties in the alarm phase, according to the National Drought and Management Authority, NDMA. Pastoralist families are struggling to survive. Rivers and wells have dried up. Pastures have turned into dust. The nearest water point is dry, indicative of the fact that it hasn't rained in years. And the rusty state of the padlocks is a tell-all picture of the extent of the drought-ravaged realities in this area. 7 kilometers away, we meet Mohammed Abdurrahman at this village water point. He operates a water bowser and must fill this underground water tank 8 times a week to sustain this village. Halima Ado is the first this morning and gets the precious commodity before getting back to her home for chores. But also spare some for her surviving goats. In this isolated village in Karo location, we meet Ade Isaac. She's among those affected by the drought and tells me she lost 11 cows and remains only with 2. But even the 2 will be lucky to survive if the current condition persists. In her homestead, you see suffering on a huge scale. She takes us to the location where one of her cows died about a month ago. She tells me about her husband, whom she says stays with his brother because of the harsh economic times and her inability to look after him. She insists on staying on in this homestead despite signs all over her compound of an uncertain future. The National Drought and Management Authority, NDMA, says failure of the October-December rains means a stretch in resources and capacity.
Ile wadadisi forecast inasema wakati huu pia mvua itakuwa below normal. You know, that is something to worry about. Kwa sababu kama msimu 3 ine isha fail. Sasa hii tena ambaye tunatarajia tunaambua hali anga inasema itakuwa chini ya kile tumepata. Sasa hiyo itasema taabu nyingi zaidi ndio tunaona. So lazima tukae tuweke mikakati, tuweke mpango.
We are stretching in terms of human resource, in terms of machinery, in terms of money and other resources, which is now leading me to really continue to appeal more and more for support from various partners and players in this field.
But there is relief. The first tranche of drought pellets, nutritious cattle feed for their animals, has arrived in Mandera County. At Garbakole village on the outskirts of Mandera town, Mohammed Dakane, a veterinary officer with the Rural Agency for Community Development and Assistance, RASIDA, a regional non-governmental organization, calls out names of the villagers who are on the brink of tipping into famine. Dakane has to serve 80 households. Each is given 6 bags of the nutritious drought pellets to last them for 3 months. Sadia Abdi is among the beneficiaries today. She has 5 children and off she goes after packing her pellets onto a donkey cart, which is the mode of transport here in Mandera County. Abdullahi Mukhtar offloads his pellets at his home. He, like others in this expansive village, paints a grim picture. And from our images, the dry vegetation of this affected village and its environs goes on and on and on. He has 9 children and tells me the pellets might not last him beyond the 3 months. He has already lost 13 of his animals, and the pellets, he says, cannot sustain the remaining 7 animals. Mukhtar says only God can salvage the situation. He started this shop in 2019 and tells me it is no more. The only remnant are some iron sheets. Inside, only bare shelves.
I have 9 kids. I've been using my own resources to feed them all, and we accept God's will. We are thankful for the help by Rasida.
In another village in Karo location, villagers look on as one cow struggles to get up. It is too weak and must feed first before finding its feet. Here, Abdikader Hassan from Rasida does the distribution, and the exercise must be orderly. Both state and non-state actors are reaching out to the affected through cash transfer programs to help them buy food. Asha Yunus Malim is among the beneficiaries of the cash transfer program. She has 10 children to feed and her husband is jobless.
Rasida helped us immensely. The cash transfer program helped us in a big way. I used the cash to build this grass-thatched house for my kids who used to sleep on the ground. We used the cash to pay for our children's school fees, madrasa.
In terms of cash distributions, we have a number of cash distributions from our developing partners. The only varies is about either we pay them in terms of, we give them in terms of cycles, that is 3 cycles, 4 cycles, 6 cycles.
The village elder and former civil servant Adan Abdullahi Mire is appreciative of the cash transfer program, but says it isn't enough.
Ukame imekuwa mingi, hakuna malisho, hakuna mbuzi ni vile wenye ushahidi hata nyinyi mmoja nyinyi usema ati mzee fulani alikuwa anasema namna hii. Sinyo unaona hiyo mbuzi pale. Tangu kila siku ya mbuzi kwa pale. Yaani watoto kikosa kisa mbuzi amekosa kitu.
4 consecutive seasons of insufficient rainfall have created the driest conditions since early 1980s, and authorities say the extended dry period has put a strain on resources and personnel.
Right now, we are what the meteorological department and the climate experts call the alarm stage. That is the stage just before you can declare a disaster, which is you can imagine it's a very severe stage. As far as the county government is concerned, we are making a lot of effort to avert this problem.
With the national government rolling out measures to mitigate the consequences of the drought situation for those here and the thousands affected across the country, what matters is their existence and survival. Beyond the pledges, they call for firm commitments. Ayub Abdikader, Citizen TV, Garbakole village on the outskirts of Mandera town.